Welcome back to the Flashing Badger podcast. My name is Gordon. I'll be your host for today, and I am joined by
Mike,
Fitz,
Wegs.
And today we are playing episode 2 of Public Access, a spooky kind of creepypasta-y themed game. And at the moment, the guys are investigating the case of the Deep Lake Lurker, which relates to a girl who went missing there back in the halcyon days of 1993. Join us.
Flashing Badger, Flashing Badger, alright. Flashing Badger.
So last week on the Flashing Badger podcast, Stacy, Brandon and Ray were all out investigating at Pine Rock Ridge Camp. Well, they're investigating the disappearance of Jessica Storsky that happened back in 1993, but local rumour says it was the work of the Deep Lake Lurker. Listen to the first episode if you haven't already. That will tell you the tale. Just as we left last time, Ray, what were you thinking of doing? You're all having a look around the camp?
I was going to start sticky beaking around the camp. We're here to uncover what happened to poor Jess, and there seems to be a lot of local folklore about this Deep Lake Lurker and a haunting present in the lake. So I'm feeling fairly courageous and confident. I want to go down to the boathouse, get in a canoe, paddle out and see if I can see anything of interest.
You go to the boathouse, and the boathouse has kayaks and canoes stacked in nice, neat rows. There's fresh paint over the internal beams and everything, but it's clear that it's a bit run down still and the way it was when the camp was still open. And there's life jackets and paddlers sort of in big buckets and big containers and also sort of strewn over the floor. So there's little kayaks there you could certainly take out if you'd like. How's your kayaking background?
I'm not a natural athlete. I'm not naturally strong across the shoulders, but I'm enthusiastic. I'm eager. What I lack in competency, I make up for in a positive winning attitude. So I can comfortably lift a kayak off the hooks on the wall or a canoe, whichever one strikes my fancy, really.
And if there is indeed a difference, if there is, jump in the Discord and let us know what it is, or give us a 5-star review and just mention the errors that we've made factually about small boats. So you're paddling out in the lake. Sounds to me like this is a slightly risky activity with a man of your level of athletic prowess.
Has Ray just gone off on his own?
Yeah, onto the potentially haunted lake. Good on him.
Can you believe that?
Oh, that's not nice. We don't enjoy that. I'd like to apologise to all our listeners.
Sorry.
Ray, Ray, this sounds like a day move to me. So it's the middle of the day. You are making a move that carries some risk. So what I'd like you to do is tell me what you're afraid will happen if this goes wrong, or if you fail, or if you lose your nerve.
If I lose my nerve or I fail, the lake is quite still, and where I'm paddling out, it's sort of beyond where the kids are playing. I'm sort of out of sight. The lake is black glass. It's eerie almost. It's ominous, and I can't see the bottom, and I'm prone to getting the occasional panic attack. And I think if I find myself toppling over into the water, I'm thinking things are going to get much worse for me. I'm not going to be able to get myself back out.
And you'll instantly die.
And I'll drown instantly.
No, I like that. That panic attack thing I think is good. You're definitely not the natural athlete you perhaps might be. So make a day move for me. That's where you roll the 2 dice. You're going to add them together and any modifiers. We're going to do it as, I think, vitality.
I've rolled a 7, which is a success with consequences rather.
Right, so you make your way out to the middle of the lake. And as you say, it's this glassy surface. As soon as you get down off the boathouse, you notice you're far closer to the waterline than you sort of anticipated, and your visibility shrinks in. So by the time you're out into the middle of the lake, all you can see is really the top story. You can see all the banks around you, but most of the features of the terrain are obscured from you.
And I'm thinking as well, like it's almost like as I'm out on the lake, the sound dynamic has changed, so things are a lot more silent out in the middle of this lake. It should be more noisy, should be more fun. Maybe I've just got a bit of tunnel vision with the adrenaline, but things seem to be more quiet than I'd like.
Yeah, definitely. And as you get out there, the noise of the kids and things playing and the yelling it's like you cross a threshold and it just stops dead. And you reach your hand out and you run your fingers through the surface of the water and you feel it's cold. It's swimmable, but it's pretty cold. I'm going to get you to write down a condition for me. The condition is called the next victim.
That bodes well.
The condition I'll get you to write for me is death.
But you make your way out. You're right out in the middle of the lake now. Is there a specific area that you're going to?
I think out in the middle of the lake, just to try and really take in the surrounds and see if anything stands out to me. Granted, it's probably the least preferable place for me to be, but I'm an investigator. I've got to investigate.
So you note straight away that there is, even when you were in the shallows and the rushes and everything, there's no insect life at all. You see no mosquitoes, there's no dragonflies, there's none of those little water skater bugs on the lake. It seems completely devoid of life. And the water is, like you say, this black water, and it fades out. When you put your hand down in the water, it fades out very quickly, like not much more than an arm's length. You can't see your hand anymore, even from the surface. Just from touching the water and feeling your hand in the water, what is it about this that tells you that the lake is greedy?
I feel like, not like something's grabbing me and pulling me under, but it feels like my body's natural inclination is to go all the way into the water.
Like the call of the void, the high building feeling.
Yeah, so even just with my fingers adjusting the surface, my arm sort of naturally wants to just be pulled into the water.
It's like you get, like your arm is heavier once it's in the water. It's making the kayak lean over.
Yeah, I have to work to pull my arm out.
And how does Ray feel about this? Does this freak him out, or is this just a bit of a curiosity at this point?
This is deeply unsettling, but if you ask me why, I can't quite put my finger on it. But it's almost like the laws of physics shouldn't be this way. This shouldn't be happening.
So now you're out here. What do you want to do?
Immediately turn around and paddle back. Well, I just want to take a minute and I want to take in the silence and just really scan, the far side of the lake. Really just let the atmosphere come to me. So I'm just bobbing.
Yeah.
I'm not paddling. I'm not moving. I'm just taking it all in.
Okay, we'll leave you there. We'll cut back. So Stacy and Brandon, you've been fairly unceremoniously sort of yelled at and sort of kicked out of the office by Billy, the owner of the camp. You're standing outside, so the noises of the camp continues. The kids go. Ray is gone. You don't know where he is. You last saw him trudging off in the direction of the boat shed, but nobody really knows where he is. What are you two doing?
I instantly fall to my knees, start screaming, "It got him! It got Ray!" No, I don't.
You saw him 6 minutes ago.
Yeah. He's out of my line of sight. He must have been gotten by the lurker.
You put his photo up with the other four.
I think we head down to the loon. All arrows and clues point that way. Or do we want to go speak to sexy hot pants guy?
So Billy's the one who just threw you out the office.
No, Joey.
I have a confession to make. What's a loon?
It's a type of bird.
A bird?
It's a flying creature. It's got wings.
I think it's also the name of the
It's the cabin.
cabin where Jess was staying, and that's what Mr. Stowski.
Yeah, so it was named like they call it.
Yeah, Emily called it the loon, and Stowski called it. Yeah, so it's like their house
There's
or
a little
their
there's a
group.
little
It's not
board.
like a word that's already used for describing cabins.
no,
in
you're
Omaguba.
not going
They've
insane.
they've labelled things themselves.
So there's a little board there that says
Thank God you asked, because I had no idea.
it's got cabin, the arrows to the cabins 1 through 10 or whatever, and you see cabin 7 is loon.
What are some of the other names so I can get a?
Cabin 5, are you writing this down? Cabin
Yep.
5 is heron.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Cabin 6 is cormorant.
Cormorant's a good one.
Yep. Cabin 4, of course, famously, is pelican.
I'm so glad you didn't do this in order.
Cabin 8 is
Peacock. What does a peacock? What does peacock say?
cabin 8 is actually flamingo. There's no peacock.
You waited till I wrote it down.
That'd be insane. Peacocks don't go in the water.
Cabin 9 is mower.
Oh, there's only 8 cabins.
Oh,
Let's not
sorry.
get crazy.
Well, that can be 7 then. Wait, no.
3.
7 is loon.
3, mower.
Cabin 1 is egret, of course. And cabin 2 is gull.
No, don't make it a waterbird. Have like 7 are waterbirds, and then the other one
Cabin
is
2
Jack
is-
Black Cabin.
Cabin 2 is Jack Black Cabin, of course. And they've named it after him because he's recently been in such hit films as Orange County,
Yeah.
Shallow Hal. Cabin 1 is egret. Cabin 2 is Jack
Black
Black Cabin.
Skibidi-bop-bop.
You can hear the sounds of saxoboom from within cabin 2. I like the idea that he's there. Like, it's not even a camper's cabin named after him. It's
Yeah.
just his cabin.
It's his holiday home. Like, everyone has it in the Maldives or
And
whatever.
he gets upset that there's camp kids around all the time.
Yeah.
He goes out and yells at him for making too much noise.
You two are going to make your way to Loon Cabin, was it?
I think we are. Are we sticking together? I would like to go to Cabin Loon to do some more investigating.
You do that. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Well, I head down to the loon cabin to have a poke around.
I think it's only right that we all split up in a horror film.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, you open the door to Loon Cabin. There is a little kid sitting in there. He looks about 8 years old. He's got dark hair. He's got a disposable camera on a lanyard around his neck. He's sitting there. He's flicking through a book, and he's got like a little basket next to him, a little wicker basket, and it is full of just like rock, different coloured, different shaped stones and leaves and all kinds of things. And you can see as he's slowly bringing them out and putting them down and writing stuff in a little book with him. He's got paint under his fingernails, but he's pretty focused on his task here. And you swing open the door, and he kind of looks up at you.
Hey, kid.
Hi?
Is this Loon Cabin?
Yeah?
What's your name? I'm Brandon.
Daniel?
I'm just having a look around. We're here investigating one of our friends, Jess. Have you ever heard of her?
No, I'm sorry, but it's my first time at camp.
Ah,
Yeah, I've never been here before. My mum and dad said I could come. And it's kind of scary because everyone here is older than me. But yeah, I don't really know anything about camp. I was just looking at my rocks. Do you want to see?
What are you doing?
I'm just writing down what kind of rocks I've got.
Sure. How many different rocks are there?
Lots. Like, I don't know. I think I got like 35 rocks. I'll tell you. Number one, his name's Richard. He's a small rock. I think he's agate or quartz. I don't know how you say it. I just read it in a book. But he's really cool. Look, he's very excited. He holds up this rock to show you. He goes, and number two, I've called number two James. Number two is here. And he shows it. He goes, I think it's a bit of a fossil. And you see it's like a plain sort of sandstony rock with a tiny little bit of discoloration on the corner. And he just keeps going down this
And I
list
sort
of
of
rocks.
feign a little bit of interest, but I'm really sort of more interested in having a bit of a look around the cabin.
So when you look around inside here, you can see there's those wooden bunk beds. They're kind of like almost built into the walls, attached to the walls hard. There's crumpled up sleeping bags and they're all different colors. All around there's hair care sets, there's fingernail polish. This is clearly a girl's cabin. There is, however, in the corner, an old TV and VCR on a rolling stand.
For wet weather days.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big building. Jess stayed here. What is it about this room that makes you think people feel unsafe in this one?
There is a heaviness in the room, and at first I don't notice it, but there is something unsettling to me. And the more I look around, it's like an old cabin, there's little bits of graffiti, and I don't really look at it at first. I dismiss it as to, I was expecting, Stacy was here, Jess was here, and all that. But as I look closer at the graffiti, it's actually quite disturbing. It's not your usual kid was here or just 93 or whatever like that. They're actually quite dark and disturbing bits of graffiti. There's images of like monsters and dark things in the night. There's the words "I am next" scribbled somewhere. There's half-written quotes from various religious texts and stuff like that, but nothing that you really give over to children being written, and it creates an air of uneasiness in that lake. And I can't swear for certain, but it does look like there's scratch marks on the inside of the walls.
Or tally marks of someone like counting the nights they've been there.
Like if you were trapped in somewhere and you were marking the days until something, there's a lot of that on the walls, whereas that in itself is just weird.
You realize when you sort of come back to yourself from having been so focused on this, you realize now that Daniel, he's still sat cross-legged on the floor, but he's now just looking at you. And he's like, it's weird in here, huh?
I start to look at Daniel, and first thing pops out of my mouth is, Daniel, is this your cabin?
He's like, oh no, no, this is not my cabin. I'm in Cormorant, but all the boys in Cormorant, they're kind of a bit mean to me. So I just come in here because I know the girls will all be out in the day, and I can be left alone. Plus, the girls are kind of nice to me.
How old are you, Daniel?
I'm 8.5.
How long have you been at camp?
This is my second week, and my mum and dad say I'm doing so well. I spoke to them on the phone. I got lots of rocks. Do you want to see the rest of the rocks?
No, that's all right, Daniel. That's all right. You keep doing your rocks there. Mate, have you ever looked around this cabin? Have you ever noticed anything weird about it?
Yeah,
like you just said?
There's lots of girl stuff. I don't really like makeup and things. They do like pictures on the wall. I took some photos on my camera. I think the pictures might be about the monster.
And this is the point where I start to get a bit uneasy, and I'm like, Stacy, Stacy.
But Stacy is not there.
No. I'm looking at Daniel. I'm uneasy now. I'm interested in this camera that he says he's caught a monster on, but I know it's a Kodak instant one, isn't it? It's nothing that I can look at.
He said he took pictures of the graffiti, not that he took pictures of the monster.
Oh, sorry. But he said something about a monster?
He said this. I think there's
Drawings
pictures
of
of the
monsters.
monster. I took a picture of them.
Right. Have you ever seen that monster before, Daniel?
No, more than anything, I want to see it because I get a picture for show and tell. I'll be so cool. Is I just gotta sneak out after dark and grab a picture. I've been saving my film for it and everything. It's gonna be so good. I've just got to make sure I don't wake everybody else up when I go out and not be the first to fall asleep like always.
Daniel, do the other kids talk about the monster?
Some of them do. Some of them say that it's the ghost girl that's coming to get people, but I don't like that one. That's scary. I think it's a monster. Like, have you seen Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I have.
Yeah, it's so cool. They're on a boat and they've got Black Lake and they find a monster.
Do the other kids talk about this girl? What do they say what her name is?
Yeah, I think there was a whole bunch. There was one called Liz and there was one called Jess.
Wow, okay. Is there anything written in here from Jess?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. And I took pictures of the best ones on the wall.
Right.
There's one over there where it looks like the monster's dragging a little person down.
And I start to go have a look at the ones he's pointing out to me about the monsters and that. And is there anything that I notice from these pictures that can where I can discern any sort of action or clue or?
They're sort of mostly the level you'd expect. You know, they're like stick figure stuff with the old wavy line to mean the waves. And there's a couple that are slightly sort of better than that. There's one with like a hand coming up out of the water and it's got webbed claws and stuff. But most of it is just the normal kid junk. And there's just one or two of these scattered around amongst a lot. But it's always in the corners, like where the bunk beds meet the corners. There's lots down there.
And I'm thrown back to something that Jess's dad said to me earlier. And I am having a solid look around. And I'm sort of testing floorboards as I go around too and seeing if there's any discernible creaks or gaps or loose ones.
All right, sounds like you're searching for clues, which makes it a meddling move. So roll some dice for me.
I've gotten a 6.
So you're using reason here. Do you have any modifiers for that?
I do actually have a 1-up modifier, so it's giving me a 7.
It's a success, but there is going to be a complication. And the complication is going to be something that you encounter while searching. Down near the back, right in one of the back bunks, right near the back corner, the window that faces out closest to the water, you kind of kick, as you're working the floorboards, you accidentally kick one of the lower rails of the bunk bed and it comes out, showing you the area underneath the mattress. And when you get down and have a look in there, you find that there is a map, and this map is rolled up tight. When you take it out, it's only about the size of an A4 piece of paper, but it's got little symbols at all different points across the lake, around the lake. It's got the cabins and things on it. It's just like the map for kids of the surrounds of the lake, but drawn in a couple of different places are little eye symbols. And there's quite a few of them. There's probably 15 of them across the map.
Yeah, right. Any close to where we are at the moment?
Yeah, there's some just around the shore. There's some on the far side, but they're mostly clustered around the edge of the lake.
And this gives me a memory, one of the felt genuine happiness as a child. And this is before I just saw the disturbing things or got into my full goth period. But it was when I used to play with my older brothers. We'd play treasure hunters in the backyard and we'd draw ourselves little maps and we'd discolor them with dirt so we were like pirate things and we mark X's on them and we'd bury stuff the day before so then the next day we could go out exploring all together and we'd put on little toy binoculars and little eye patches and little hats and we'd make them out of paper and we'd search around hunting for buried treasure and we'd always play the same game and it'd always take us through all our backyard equipment and toys and all that. And looking at this map, I'm reminded of that. I have that little genuine flash of happiness as a child. Looking at this map, trying to find the clues, takes me back to that memory.
From the way you're looking at me, I can tell that was you turning a key.
I feel like it is.
Okay, great. That boosts the level of success of your roll. So not only have you found this clue, but you've also found, once you kneel down properly and you pull this map out, you can see the distinctive clamshell tape packaging in there. And as you pull it out, you see the synthwave style logo, TV Odyssey written on it. And sure enough, that is an Odyssey tape that you have collected. And written on the label of the tape is Deep Lake, Off the Beaten Path.
Any dates on it?
No dates.
And is this one of those ones I know won't work during the day? I couldn't just pop it straight into the machine.
Straight away from the packaging and everything that this is an Odyssey tape. This isn't just some nature ramble.
Is your waterbed empty? Do you have no one to be player 2 in Double Dragon? Then you need to call the Power Love Dating Agency. Power Love is the hotline creating love matches as unstoppable as Madonna and Sean Penn, or as forever as Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. At the Power Love Dating Agency, we don't just find you a date, we find you someone who will be Jason to your Kylie, Tommy to your Pamela, or Whitney to your Bobby Brown. Our state-of-the-art 128 kilobyte love match computer is as dependable as shares in Planet Hollywood. So if you want a love as long-lasting as Bruce and Demi, or a devotion like Charles and Diana, pop in your favorite Kenny G CD, light a vanilla-scented candle, and call 1-800-POWER-LOVE. Power Love Dating Agency. Love isn't complicated, it's just forever.
Flashing Badger.
Stacey, what are you up to while Brandon's in Loon cabin?
I'm standing outside the reception office and I take a minute to look around and I can see that the kids are undergoing their activities out on the lake or around the lake. The staff are all busy in action, whether it's mid-argument with each other and distracting the parent that came in yelling. So I see this as an opportunity to go to the staff-only area where they have their own dorm and their own residence. And normally I wouldn't be brave enough to do this, but I just see such a perfect opportunity with everyone else distracted that I creep on over to their quarters.
Right, so the counsellor's cabin, is
Yeah.
that? Yep. You're going to have to sort of sneak your way in there because there's groups coming and going and moving around. And it's pretty clearly, it's a few like cabin lengths back from the kids' cabins. And it's pretty clearly, it's divided in half. It's the same big, long sort of row house building, but it's got a wall down the middle of it, unlike the normal cabins where one for male and one for female counsellors, separate entrance doors. So which side are you going in?
I'll go into the ladies' half.
People are coming and going and moving all around. Tell me how you're making your way in there.
I grab the handle to go into the ladies' half and I change my mind. The owner of this place and the people who seem to be in charge at the moment are males. So I let go of the handle and I shuffle my way around to the men's side.
And are you just walking in with sort of an air of that you own the place, or are you actually being sneaky?
This is sneaky. It used to have a code combination to get in, but you can see that they've just given up on that system or it's broken or whatever. And so I turn the handle and I open it only a tiny bit to try and see in. And I'm like, hello? Hello?
Roll me a day move.
It's a 5.
The door starts to open, and straight away, this like hand hits the other side and slams it shut. He's like, "What the hell? What are you doing, lady? It's like something's getting changed in here. This is the other side. Are you blind?"
Sorry, I was told to come and speak to you about the interview that I'm doing for Summer Camp So Fresh 2004.
And you hear this.
Sorry, I was told to come see you.
You hear this like clattering and rumbling, and then the door gets thrown open, and this guy sort of appears like casually leaning on the door frame. He's like, "You, someone said to come see Connor, yeah?"
Oh, are you Connor?
Yeah.
I hadn't expected you just to be so... sorry. Hi, Connor. I'm Stacy.
Like, okay, Stacey, what's this about? Why? What?
So you probably heard me mention that we're doing Summer Camp So Fresh 2004. So 2003, 2002, 2001, we obviously started this up and it's really popular now. You've probably seen it. We just go out and...
I haven't. Is it like on MTV or something?
Oh, yeah. Like, have you seriously not seen this on MTV?
No.
It's after Cribs and it's before another Cribs.
So no, I haven't seen it, but what do I have to do?
Well, we don't have the film crews or anything here today because they come out later. We do like an audition and we sort of vet a couple of different camps. But I spoke to Billy and he looked really busy. He knew I was coming, but he said that Connor was the man and to put everything to the man. And I just ask you some questions and we take a look around and we get an idea of like if this would be suitable for filming and what sort of like amazing characters could be presentable on TV.
So yeah, well, if Billy said that, he was probably being sarcastic, and I don't know, you like here to make fun of me or something. So no,
Billy was pretty rude to me.
He's like that to everyone, and really,
This place needs someone like really chill and like really like vibing instead in charge. Like I don't know, like, I just picture someone like you, Connor, running a cool camp.
Yeah, that's pretty tight. Okay. It's like, cool. What do you need to know?
Well, there's heaps I need to know, but first, like, are you like a skateboarder?
Yeah, these Converse don't wear themselves.
I could just tell just by looking.
Of course. And he kind of like brushes his hair back and kind of like emphasizes his lean on the door frame, even though this is like a quite weedy, like 17-year-old.
Well, I need to.
After you say yeah, she goes, "Oh, I'll see you later, boy."
No, we're not having that in there.
No, okay, sorry.
I liked it.
All the questions I need to ask you are on a document that I have saved on my laptop. So this thing is bulky. Where should we sit? I'll come in.
And he kind of like looks around the behind the closed door, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he opens the door, and this is like in disarray. This is a room used by 17 to 21-year-old boys to stay in. This is like horrible.
What have I done?
What have you gone in as a grown woman?
Uncover some clerical mystery.
bottom of the gym locker sort of stuff. It's horrible.
No, it
Instead of
stinks
clerical
boys.
mystery, all you've got is Clearasil.
Oh,
Hey.
well done. So you go in and he kind of like pushes some stuff off one of the storage chunks in the middle of the floor, and he's like, "Yeah, so what do you need?"
Exactly. And this takes a minute to boot up. So I just get an idea of the place and where we're going to shoot. And I start walking around the room and looking at things whilst I'm talking to him.
All right, do a meddling move for me, because it certainly sounds like you've overstepped your bounds.
Oh, it's shocking.
Time that I burn a key to try and save this. But that's only going to bring me to a success with consequences still.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just bomb out and just accept that this was doomed from the beginning.
Just standing in a teenage boy's joint room for no reason.
Again, I thought it'd be like administrative, but that's the reception where everything's locked away. I've made terrible decisions. I'm not an investigator. Now, I'll tell you what, they're both doing far more interesting things than me. I'm happy for Stacy to have a bit of failure and we move on.
So the short version is Connor, for like 15 minutes, just talks to you about skateboarding and about
Kick flips.
about his shoes. Yeah, he talks about the sick grind he did. He's just like a tiresome, vapid teenager who has really nothing to say to you. And a few times you try and bring up like the history of the camp or whatever, and he's like, "No, that's so yesterday." He's like all that stuff, epic fail. Just check this.
Does he keep referring to Stacy as babe? Listen,
Yes.
babe.
Yeah.
Listen, babe.
Yeah, utterly condescending, misogynist. It's horrible.
I haven't even turned the laptop on because I don't want to burn even more battery. So I'm pretending to type on a blank screen.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible experience. So while you're having that, we'll cut back to Ray out in the middle of the lake.
Ray has overheard Connor talking to Stacy and has decided to jump into the lake. No, Ray's just taking in the atmosphere. It's still, it's almost, not to oversell it, but it's almost a bit detached from reality. Mm-hmm. It's eerie in the atmosphere. So I'm taking in the surrounds.
Yeah, it is like the wind has started to pick up a smidge where there's like tiny ripples on the surface of the lake, but as it's moving into sort of late afternoon, it's not as bright as it was, but that makes the water even less appealing and more opaque. And even, like I say, you pick up a scoop of it in your hand and it's almost like you can barely see your palm through it. There's like a silt that hangs in the water.
I think I've lost the enthusiasm about taking in the ambience. So I'm going to scoot around and start paddling back to the boathouse.
Brandon, you've still been engaged with Daniel.
Yeah.
And he's a friendly kid.
Yeah.
I feel like you're sort of making your exit now.
Yeah, and I'm leaving. But on the way out, I'm not trying to break the game here, but on the way out, I actually just do the whole, "Come on, kid. Let's see if we can find you monster." And I almost invite Daniel along with me.
And Daniel jumps up. He's like, "Okay." He puts his hand out and he says, "Daniel, we're monster hunting buddies, yeah?"
No, I go, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's go find this thing." And we just
shake hands?
Yes.
Okay, and he like pumps your hand up and down really, really enthusiastically, and he's got like this big smile on his face. And as you like finish the handshake and go to leave, he just like transitions it into a handhold as he walks with you. Is it
Kidnapping a child at this stage.
And you're going to use him as a meat shield.
Absolutely.
I know what you're doing.
Have you ever heard of the term bait?
So he's just walking along with you. Gets outside, he's like, "Where are we going to look?"
All right, so I've grabbed this clue. I think this is pretty important. I want to show the others.
You've also grabbed that child.
And I've also grabbed this child. Pretty important. I want to show the others. Savannah.
I can't wait till you get back. What do you got? You're like, "I found a clue, and I also found this kid who knows a whole lot about the mystery. What did you get?" I'm like, Yeah, I got stuff.
You start telling me the history of kickflips.
We all contributed.
I go looking for Stacy and Ray.
As you walk down, you see Ray and his little kayak coming back towards the boathouse. Or in fact, he's not even going back into the boathouse. He's going down to the pier, which is just slightly down between the boathouse and the loon cabin. And the pier that runs out there it's mostly floating wood and plastic. It's sort of anchored to the ground at one end. And there's a metal ladder at the end, which is quite far out into the lake. It's quite long. And there's these containers of goggles and of swimming toys and of things, of like in partially deflated inflatables. And he pulls into there. And at the same time, you see Stacy sort of from slightly past Loon. She's coming back, like nodding and smiling her way out of a door, which she's pulling closed behind her and kind of walk. And you just hear her like, okay, yep, no, stay radical. Yep, bye. And is like slowly walking away towards you. She turns around. She's kind of catching up with you, walking the direction of the pier. Are you guys catching up? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going.
So you all rendezvous at the pier.
I'm telling the guys instantly about what I've found. I'm showing them the map, and I'm showing them the tape. Going, I've got clues, guys. and I'm one of you like, who's the kid?
I'm a bit shaken by my experience out on the lake. I've my mood's been brought down, and I'm not my normal pep in my step kind of guy.
You look flat. What
I
happened
feel
out
flat.
there?
I can't tell you.
Okay, then don't. I expect this from the emo.
Whatever.
And Daniel's like looking back and forth between these. He's like, are you guys hunting the monster too?
I'm like, yep, these are all monster hunters here. Again, I'm mindful that I've not introduced
show him your
to
gun.
either.
Hey, Daniel, if you're
No, I
scared,
do.
if you're scared,
I show him
hold this.
I go, and if the monster comes and I pull out the pistol, I go, we'll be ready. It's about this time I will caveat that Brandon has not had much interaction with children in his life. He doesn't understand anything about them and how you should interact with them or
This
talk to
child
them
is
and all
going
that.
to tell the camp workers that you took him out of the cabin and then showed him a gun.
And at this moment, Daniel takes out of his little satchel bag he takes out his little water flask thing, like it's one of those little army survival ones, and he takes a swig and he starts choking on it, and he pukes out like a liter of water, just keeps coming out of him. And then he kind of like goes and like wipes his hand with the back of his mouth, and he's like, oh, I choked for a second there.
And I just ask him, Daniel, are you okay, matey?
It's like, yeah, I'm okay now, thanks.
Should we take you back to your counsellor or reception or...
Oh, we got to find the monster though.
Daniel, I think my friend Brandon here got a bit carried away, and we're not really equipped to look after you. We're
Chill out,
probably
Ray.
not the best.
Daniel's cool. And I just walk off.
No. Ray is not massively optimistic around having a stranger's child hang out with them. Daniel, let's walk you back to the reception, matey. I don't think you...
Brandon's like, chill out, man. It's 2004.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Can you two see Daniel right now?
Ray, are you stepping in and taking Daniel back to...
I think, Daniel, you seem like a great kid, but this is not the place for you. We need to find a proper carer for you, Daniel.
Daniel's like, okay, are you guys gonna come back tonight? I'm gonna sneak out and find the monster.
No, Daniel, you need to listen to your camp counsellors, and we're going to take you back there, and don't you worry about us. We'll do our own thing.
Okay, I will. And he looks at Brandon, does this big, really obvious like wink, and Brandon winks back at him.
and then I give him like a really complicated. We do a really complicated like high five shake
your
thing
handshake, yeah.
as we leave.
You've developed that in the time between the cabin and the pier. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a really complicated been backslap, bomb, wiggle back, all that kind of stuff.
Brilliant.
And I'm like, and Daniel, remember, none of us can hunt monsters if we talk about hunting monsters. We have to keep it secret.
Yeah, if any of the camp counsellors ask if we saw anyone today, you say, they told me to keep it a secret.
See, you guys are now making it weird, all right?
I just don't want
hanging with
to
the
tell
kids.
these camp counsellors that 3 people are out hunting monsters.
With
But
guns.
one's got a gun.
I remind him gently that if you do see that monster, you take that photo and then you call us and let us know.
And Daniel does. He looks at Stacey after she says about the monster thing, and he gives her the big wink as well. Stacey does not wink back.
We've
Stacey's
now
not a
freelanced
problem
this
child.
kid as a photographer of monsters.
He's sworn in as the 4th latchkey kid.
His death is on you, by the way.
Can I transfer the next victim status to Daniel?
I think he's got it as well.
It's the ring tape. You're
Yeah,
just passing
exactly.
it on.
Yeah. As long as somebody else watches it.
Daniel touched it last.
Was that 2004? When was Ring?
Maybe 03, yeah.
It'd have to be close.
Yeah.
It'd still be fresh in our minds, especially on
Yeah.
the camp.
Especially it's very water based.
As you walked off, I do ask these two, do you reckon that was weird how much water he threw up?
It was all lake coloured water. It was all
Maybe
lake
he's a
coloured water.
filtration kid.
His
His name is Filtration.
That's what we found. Wegs is next character.
Next
yeah.
character name.
Wait, so you're saying it is lake-coloured water?
It was lake coloured water.
Yeah,
black
funny how that
water.
changed.
We're moving into the dusk phase. The sun is slowly coming down. You guys need to decide if you're going to watch one of these tapes you found.
I think that we should.
Yeah, 100%.
100% that we
I
should.
think we should watch both of them.
Yeah,
And the
98%.
next question is going to be whether you watch them here in the loon cabin, which I think, given your status there and that Billy wasn't that pleased to see you, is probably going to be a challenge, or whether you take it back to your house.
These
and watch
guys-
it
We've
there.
outstayed our
Yeah,
welcome.
I think
Yeah.
these guys are worried about me just hanging out with Daniel. If we go into a little girl's cabin and hang out,
It is going to present
it's-
questions.
Yeah, I'm more nervous about that than hanging out with my man Dan.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
I'm glad that concerns you.
And I'm glad that you and Dan are such firm friends.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'd hate to see anything happen to him.
Oh, Jesus.
I give him my gun for safekeeping. All right, no, I reckon we head back to home.
Good idea.
I love that you're calling it home. We've settled
If
in.
you're going to watch a tape, you still get one action you can do during the night phase. So we're going to go in order. There is no discussion about this. I'm essentially going to ask you in order what each of you want to do. Give me a very brief, like a one-sentence summary of what you want to do. That's it. Stacey, at night time, so in between watching this tape, what are you going to do?
Stacey's remembering why she was here in the first place, and she's going to go for a walk through this little town and try and find the building where the public access was broadcast or filmed.
She can go searching for the actual station itself.
Yeah.
All right. Brandon?
Brandon is becoming more and more obsessed about the idea of the deep lake lurker. And like he did when he was a kid, he's heading off to the local library and he's just going through old newspaper articles. What do they call it? Microfiche, microfilm type things. And he's just going through that, devouring anything he can about weird instances at the lake, missing kids, all that kind of stuff.
Ray?
The moment out on the lake has really upset me and really put me out. So I'm going to walk down to the local church and just have a moment of quiet reflection and try and find myself. Maybe chat to the local priest if he's an okay sort.
It's famously not approachable. Father, I have concerns. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Add him to the
Get
list.
outta here.
Get
Where are
outta
all the
here.
problems, kid?
Anyway, that's when Barney here got himself an armadillo. Now watch this drive.
And that was the word today from President Bush on the ongoing search for WMDs in Iraq.
Thanks, Travis, for that story from the White House. Now we cut to Tiffany, who has something for us on emerging technology.
That's right, Patrick. The hot new thing is a website called The Facebook, and it looks like it's going to give MySpace a run for its money. You see, the great thing about this technology is that it unifies people and will not have any negative consequences. So make sure you sign up and poke your friends.
I hope you can also use it to rate people based on their appearance. That is banging. Now for sports. What's up, Sean?
Word, Travis. Big news in the world of sports is JT and Janet Jackson. Everyone's talking about this, and the big question, will there ever be another scandal as big as Nipplegate?
Flashing Badger.
So we'll make our way through the first Odyssey tape that you guys are watching here. And the tape is called Deep Lake, Off the Beaten Path. And you go home and you guys have settled in for the night. You've eaten some fairly inedible dinner
Apologies.
That Ray made.
and it's dark now. It's oppressively dark outside and the town is quiet. There are cicadas buzzing. There is the moon high overhead. The skies are pretty clear. And you put the tape in the machine and it loads with a clunk and makes that little bzzz, like pre-spooling noise that it always used to make. And the CRT TV has blinked to life. And it's that warm buzz coming off the TV and you can feel you imagine you can feel the heat radiating off the screen even when you're sitting. And the three of you are crowded on the couch in utter anticipation. And you press play on the tape and it immediately comes to life and it looks like camcorder quality footage. And straight away, it's this solo hiker. His name's Josh Ortega, and he's got a handheld camcorder and he's holding it himself for most of it. And every now and then you see him put it down on a rock and like walk away from it, but he leaves all that in the edit. Like even in the montage, you still see him put the camera down, it goes a bit of funny angle and him walk up in front. Initially, he looks so cheerful and so upbeat, and he's like, hey, welcome to Deep Lake Off the Beaten Path, and today we're going to be exploring an area around Deep Lake, and we're going to be looking into some nature trails. Looking at him, once you sort of focus in on the details and you get close enough to the screen that you can see in between the scan lines, you can see that his eyes are sunken and haunted. You can see that on his like inner forearm when he moves, he's been like obsessively worrying at it, and he's like picked himself, almost bleeding on the inside of both forearms. Hanging out of one of his pockets is this. It's hard to make because it's a blur of color as he's moving around, but it looks like a folded over map that's just got like red pen marks all over it. It looks like he's been obsessively hunting for something or driven by something. So we press pause on the tape. And we go to Stacy. Stacy, you're out searching for TV Odyssey.
Yeah.
For the station. It's dangerous at night. How are you? Are you just on foot?
Yeah, it's a smallish town, so I'm walking.
Okay. We're going to get you to make a night move. And I want you to tell me what you're worried about, what you think is going to happen if you do something wrong, if you make a mistake, or if you lose your nerve. So you're facing something you fear, in my view. You're out there alone. It's a place you're not that familiar with. I don't think you've ventured out at night that much in your stay here so far, but something about tonight has driven you out, and something about what you saw on that tape earlier. Because even though we're still watching the tape, the characters have already seen it.
Okay. I think Stacy is worried about the strong authority people in this town, because we've hit a lot of roadblocks already, but at least I seemingly haven't come to the attention of people that are going to put an end to everything. And so I think for me, something that could go bad is that the local sheriff or a mayor or someone of importance is just going to grab me and put me in my place and sternly direct me to leave.
And I think it's worse than that. I think not only is there the chance that they will grab you, I think there's other things in the night that might grab you. So make that roll for me.
I walk back inside. It's a 10.
So tell me how your search for the TV Odyssey station goes, but I'll give you this caveat. You don't find it.
I was lucky that before I'd even come to town, I'd done my research online. There were shared images and maps and things in the forums. So where it should be located, I know that exact intersection. It's across from a mall, and on another corner is a pharmacy and a little strip of shops. And then there should be this enormous cinder block building that had the big sign out the front and the custom cutout logo. So I know exactly where I'm heading, and I have a grainy 100 pixel by 100 pixel image that I saved off a web page. So I walk myself to that location and I get to the intersection, and sure enough, there's the small mall with the outdoor car park, there's the pharmacy and everything. But on this corner where the building should be, not only is there nothing, but it's also void of debris or signs of there was something. Normally when you remove a building, there might be pipes and things sticking out of the ground and you're like, oh yeah, there was plumbing here, there was whatever. All of that is gone, but there's not weeds or anything. It's just flat.
Just completely like bare sand?
Yeah, just earth. And there's no fence up around it to signify like there's going to be something under construction. This is land owned by someone. It's just empty.
Okay.
So I've got to the right place and I double check my bearings and everything else.
And there's nothing there.
Nothing.
Pressing play on the tape. You have prompt number 2. Read that for me.
A breathtaking sunset view of Deep Lake from a mountain trail. Josh excitedly describes how the shape of Deep Lake crater creates an unusual effect at sundown, as if the lake is quickly filled by shadows. What looming shape do you see on the horizon, which cannot be explained by natural phenomena? I think the shape that I see should be a talon. And I say that because there's bird themes around the lake. and we're used to calmer water birds that are catching bugs and small fish. But this is a stronger bird of prey talon. And the shadow is enormous. I mean, it's coming from the mountain, so it can't be explained away by it's just the shadow of a bird. But it's so defined with the talons. And the talons drip at the ends.
Oh.
Like the shadow drips down into the lake.
Yeah, wow.
And then they land in the lake and the lake ripples.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
It gets dark.
I jog home.
Brandon, you were going to the library.
I was
Just walking the dark streets on the way there, or are you taking your bicycle?
taking my bicycle.
Tell me what happens if it goes wrong.
What's something that I'm worried about happening? I've never enjoyed this town, and I worry that I didn't tell anyone I was coming back. And even though I've been poking around it, I still haven't contacted any of my family, any of my old high school, whatever. And I'm worried that I will bump into any of them, some of them, as I've pretty much wiped them all. I've refused to contact them since I left. So I'm scared that it's not a monster scare, but I'm scared that I'll bump into some of these family members and some people, and I'll be forced to talk to them and interact with them.
I think it's worse than that. It's not just going to be like an awkward reuniting, but I think they have an active enmity for you, and they are actually not violently or not aggressively, but they've written you off completely. And there's going to be a very unpleasant reckoning if you do come to face with them.
Exactly.
Roll me the night move.
I've got no additional things to add to that, so I've failed. I've gotten a 6.
Okay. So here's what happens. So you're riding down the street on your bike towards the library, and you are distractedly looking at things that you half remember from being a child, and you got your headphones on. Walkman in your pocket, headphones on. Or Discman in your pocket, headphones on.
It keeps skipping.
So you've got 10 seconds of shock protection. And this
I put fresh cold batteries from the fridge in there.
this SUV in Deep Lake Sheriff markings cuts across your nose so close that you slam into the wheel arch and dump on the ground. And before you even get up from rolling off the bike, someone is on you and has got you by the shirt front. He's like, what exactly did you think was going to happen coming back here? What exactly did you think was going to happen? You're so lucky Dad didn't find you. It's like, I can't believe you have shown your goddamn face here. And as he hauls you to your feet, you can feel that your ankle crunches when you put weight on it.
Oof.
And he pins you up against the side of the SUV, and he is in your face. He is nose to nose. He is like incandescent with rage. Would you like to use a key, or would you like to keep going?
I think I'd like to actually keep going.
All right.
See what happens here. I'm not going to use a key at this
So
point.
I'll have you take a condition broken ankle. And you're like in pain. You're clearly sort of whimpering. This guy is holding you up, which is Hayden, your brother. I can't believe, after what Dad told you, after the way you left, I can't believe you would come back here. We're going to go see him now. Tonight's not going to be great for you. He's going to expect all that money you stole, or else I think you're going to get locked up. You are so dumb. You were always so dumb. This is why no one ever liked you. And
I'm always like, hey, Hayden, always a pleasure.
and he gives you like the cuff upside the head as he's putting handcuffs on you behind your back and throws you headfirst into the back of the SUV.
Crud.
Well said.
But a short time later, you get sat down in a jail cell. Cuffs come off. It's one of those classic, like in the back of the sheriff's office ones where you can see the whole office area and everything. And he sits you down there, and Hayden goes to his desk, which is sat up the front of the building with the big glass windows up the front. And he sits there, and every now and then, when he's working by desk light on this sort of word processor, he'll turn around and look at you and just like, ugh, and shake his head. He's like, idiot. Tell me about prompt 3 on the tape. We'll press play on that.
Footage of heavily damaged trees and strange patterns scarring the ground. Josh sounds nervous, rambling as he attempts to explain this phenomena. A lightning strike, probably. Maybe a bear tore those trees up. What do you see in the background that indicates some kind of ritual was attempted here? In the background, what Josh is describing is torn up trees and scarred bush. Actually, at a glance, does look like that. But if you look at it a bit harder, they're actually not torn up trees. They're intentionally placed trees and structure, big trunks, almost Stonehenge-like. You can see this pattern. I can see this pattern that they're almost placed around in almost a circle in the background, little tabletop structures, all obviously pointing to the center of something. And in that center is clearly the remnants of what you'd think would be a bonfire. What he's pointing to is where the lightning struck is clearly what a fire or some sort of flame was there in the center. That's what I see.
Is there any carvings or anything on the trees, or are they just as they fell?
The trees at the front do look like they have some sort of carvings, but given the shakiness of the camera work, I never actually get to see a clear. I do try and look, and they definitely look intentional, but I can't see what they are.
Okay. Ray, finding solace in the church.
Attempting to. Let's roll the dice and see if I find solace in the church.
Do you drive down there?
No, I walk. I need to take in the night air.
How far is the church from the house?
15, 20-minute walk. I'm not walking with purpose. It's I'm in a more contemplative mood than that.
Mm-hmm. You get to the church and you find there's lights on inside. It's a small, it's on this small town, sort of uniting churches, and it's made of, it's almost like a prefab kind of building. This is not a grandiose. This is a pretty small that's been dumped here. And when you open the door, there's a man standing up the front of the church who's just tidying things up, and he looks up at you. Oh, hello.
Oh, hi there. I was just in the neighbourhood. I'm lost for words. I don't even know what I'm going to try and express.
Yes, the Lord's neighbourhood is fast.
Is God home? He's wearing a set of slacks and a knitted, multicoloured jumper. And he's quite welcoming. He's wearing this fairly casual attire, and it's yeah, come in, take a seat. Do you want to talk or?
I do, but again, I'm tongue-tied. I don't know. I had a weird experience. If you ask me for details, I can't tell you. I just know I was out on the lake. You probably can guess which lake.
So, yeah, I hear a few weird experiences out there.
Yeah. What do you tell to people when they've been out on the lake and they come back deflated and shaken to the core?
I tell them that the mind is a powerful thing, and that usually what we think of as trouble outside can come from trouble inside. And really, it's something for you to reflect on. You a Christian?
Oh, I must admit, Padre, I'm not a praying man, but I don't know. I don't feel as sure about the world as I did this morning.
He says, well, sometimes what we talk about as connection to God can be a connection to self. And really, I'd say whether you're a praying man or not, you need to take some time to think about what your mind is telling you and what's really troubling you. But I will tell you this, I've been in this town for quite a long time, and there's very few problems here that aren't caused by someone here. Problems tend to be civil, not mystical.
This has left me unconvinced. I get the feeling that the Padre is steering me down the wrong path, but say, hey, thanks, Padre. I'll leave you to it.
You can take the condition skeptical. And you can read me prompt 4 of the tape.
Josh is stumbling frantically down a trail, a bank of storm clouds gathering in the background. Josh looks terrified, babbling about angels and omens. He glances over his shoulder, trips suddenly, slams to the dirt. An eruption of distorted screeching turns to static as the ground falls away. Josh screams as he is hauled into the sky. What final warning can you hear before the footage cuts out in a flash of lightning? The static, like the wind rushing and the static and just the distortion is overwhelming, but just faintly I can hear the words. Stacy, Brandon, Ray, run.
Well, that's unsettling.
I don't think he said Stacy. I think it was Gracie. I think I'm fine.
Yeah, she'd be right.
Stacy. This is when I revealed that Brandon's not my real name. So I'm safe.
Yeah, you're off.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
it's actually Braden.
You just worry about getting bail.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That is the end of your first night.
God, I
in
didn't
the town
like
of
it.
Deep Lake.
I didn't like it at all.
And also the end of the episode. So it's convenient timing.
We used to play happy games.
No jubilation here.
Remember Crash Pandas?
So, Ray, it seems like you're in a bit of a religious or
spiritual
quandary. Yeah, that's how it's affected you most.
Yeah, I'm not as confident that the world is such a great place as it once was. There's something else out there.
Whereas Brandon, compared to Ray, it feels like you're in the very tangible, very physical version of trouble.
Yes, and I can't see a way out of it, to be completely honest.
And this is the family legacy that you left behind? Yep.
This is my nightmare.
Stacy.
Stacy feels small. Stacy feels like no matter what she does, she's not providing purpose. And she's in a world that's bigger than her and moving faster than her.
So I feel like Stacy, working in IT, it's a very male-dominated field in 2004 and everything. I feel like this probably is the what she's feeling is being amplified by her experience of being marginalised and being probably overlooked to begin with. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think she thought that she'd have a sense of power out here doing something different and away from the rest of her life. That here she'd have agency. And she's discovering that it's her, no matter where she goes.
And she got talked down to by a teenage boy.
Totally radical.
Yep. Whereas Brandon found or bought a child.
Yeah.
And Ray at least had some kayaking adventures. So
But even that in itself is the group that you're meant to be part of also went off on you and did their own thing, abandoning you even further.
at least none of those things that were looking for you found you in the dark. There's a TV somewhere. It's an old CRT, boxy and heavy, on one of those grey TV carts like the teacher used to roll into the classroom on movie day. Except this is no classroom, and we're not here to watch Charlotte's Web for the third time. This TV is in the desert, the blasted landscape where old gods made war on each other. It blinks to life. On the screen is a man so big he fills the flickering frame. He's wearing a creamy yellow suit, a cowboy hat, and has a bolo tie shaped like the sun. He's looming over a table that is comically small in front of his vastness. Cards are spread across it. He looks at the camera and speaks. Must surprise you to learn that I am an enthusiast of the tarot. The first card in the major arcana is the Fool. It depicts a young man blind to the realities of the world stepping off a precipice. The Fool is said to augur a new beginning in life, a new journey, and importantly, on the need to trust the hidden forces of the universe to guide you on your way. I do wonder what will happen to these new fools, these beautiful fools who have travelled all the way back to the enchanted land of their youth in search of truth. What will happen now that they have stepped off the precipice? Will the universe set them down gently, or will they simply plummet into oblivion? The TV turns off, leaving a hot, white dot in the centre of the screen. This concludes episode 2 of Public Access here on the Flashing Badger podcast. Thank you very much for being with us. It's getting pretty creepy and introspective. I hope you all come back for next week. Mike especially looks very frightened, and I'm not convinced he will. But find out by tuning into episode 3 next week of Public Access. Thanks for being here, and bye from
Mike
Fitz!
Wegs.
and Mike.
Flashing Badger.